Well, we're back up at the shop because it's, well, it's cold outside and, heck, this is where all the parts are. So I've kind of sorted everything out. I've kind of got an idea in my head of what I want to make. It's sort of like a I'm thinking like it's a water squeegee. You ever seen those power washing water squeegee things that you can kind of push along and it's like a water sweeper? Anyways, that's kind of what I have in mind. I had one picture that I kind of saw where they've made like a T-shaped thing, and it worked as essentially a Zamboni in order to disperse all the water evenly amongst the ice, and then knock off the high spots with kind of like a cloth or a rag or like a towel or something like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing. But I don't really want to spend any money on this thing. So this is the only key piece of part I needed, which was a T, a 3/4 inch T. I don't have a lot of those, so I have one now. I don't know why that didn't come apart very easily. It required a lot of heat and kind of like some prying, and it's kind of oblong now, so I don't know if it's actually going to fit. And then I got some chunks of 3/4 inch piping, and this is type, I think it's type M, but the actual shaft is this type L, which is the crazy thick copper. Anyway, so it's thick wall for the shaft, and then the cross piece is type M. Actually, I scavenged off an old hot water tank. They chucked the hot water tank and they left this thing on. I don't know if you've ever seen these. These are shark bite connectors to hook up your own hot water tank. So if you ever like, you know, scared to solder, these are the things to use. They're like quick connect shark bites. They would slide on a 3/4 inch pipe, and then you got your off valve right on it. I don't even know what these things are worth, probably a fortune. That's why I grabbed it, because I was like, that's kind of useful. And then what I want to do is I want to actually connect to this guy, which is, again, NPT, which isn't a garden hose connector. It's National Pipe Thread, which is this thing over here, which connects into that. And then this goes into this. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out, because that's a threaded piece and this is a solder-on piece. So what I'm actually going to do is probably clean that Teflon tape on and solder that together. And that'll give me an adapter that goes from this to that. And this will go to the thing, and that'll go to my garden hose. Does that make any sense to you guys? So let's put this thing together, and let's get flooding the rink. All right, we'll give you a little bit of a tour of this little thing. It kind of looks like a flag. I don't know, sort of flag thing. Anyways, it's got, so what I ended up doing was using a piece of plastic pipe, and then I put a slot in the plastic pipe, and I ended up sliding the towel into the slot, and I put a couple of screws there. And then what I ended up doing is putting a couple of pieces of PEX in this. So the idea is this thing is removable once it's like sopping wet, and you don't want to carry the whole thing because it'll be wet and cold and frozen. So that's the idea there. And then if you look on this side here, I ended up soldering. First time I've ever tried to do that. It's kind of like a brazing, but that's a 1/2 inch piece of pipe to 3/4 inch, and it'll pretty much stop the flex occurring, I think. And I drilled a couple more holes, and then I got my long handle, which is the type L plumbing pipe, which is going to be extra stiff. And the other thing about this thing is it doubles as a hand warmer, because this thing's going to be toasty hot when we're using it. And then this thing here, which I found on top of an old hot water tank, this thing is just shark bite connector, and I hope it just slides on like that. So the idea is to push that on. Shark bites are good and bad at the same time. So that's going to be my flow control, so I can flow hot water and then stop hot water. And then this is the business end, which is going to connect to the hose, which is a good thing. It's flexible. It should be really convenient to do that. So I can just kind of turn it off, turn it on. I don't know. Let's bring it down to the pond, see if we can get it working. That's pretty cool. It's a nice winter day. Winter has finally settled upon us, and if you know anything about Canadians, is that it's time to get the outdoor rink set up. We've been waiting for so long for this to happen, and now it's the time to actually do it. So we're down at the pond here. We had the aeration going for a little while because we were actually keeping our fish alive essentially, and we fished them all out, and now we've turned it off, so we've let it freeze over the last couple of days. We've had some pretty good temps. So actually Chris has already started. We're gonna actually watch Chris and see if he falls in the drink. Are you confident? Is there any sound yet? What are you doing?
Ice fishing.
What? I thought we were going skating.
No, you need a bit more than that. I wouldn't be having too much fun on that much ice.
That much ice?
Yeah, you got about 3.5.
But like, the hockey puck's gonna be, Frankie, how much do you need to walk on it?
Well, you're right at the edge there now. You can take a snow machine on 3 inches.
It's not the greatest
but
ice.
But it's got to be 3 inches like black.
But it's not the greatest ice.
It's
looking.
not the best ice, no.
Well,
it's not enough of it to be safe. Like you could, if you had a fire going and all that stuff, I mean, you can make a go of it. But
you mean the fire going because if you fall through, you're not going to die?
Yeah.
All right.
If you're near civilization and the ice doesn't move and like you got that much.
That is,
it's not very much. It's not much. It's enough. It's enough to walk on.
It's not the greatest ice either. See how it, no. You want like dark ice. That clear ice is the snow that melted in.
Yeah,
there's about 2 inches of good ice.
That's about that much good ice. Yeah. Right there, you could see the layer where it formed underneath the slush bit.
Over here is where the aeration actually was. You can tell a little bit better over here where there's kind of darker ice. So what's the plan there? You're gonna try to get the other fish.
I want to see how many fish are suffering down there right now because the aerator's turned off.
I think they got lots of stored oxygen down there.
Well, it's fully oxygenated. It's just how long that oxygen's gonna last, right? Because you always get winter kill. It's a thing, especially on small water bodies. So, I mean, we haven't fished out laying Lois, loose Lois, Clark's Bend 2. So I'm gonna let this run for an hour or whatever, however long we're here. I'll ice fish a little bit, and we'll see if we can have a fish swim by.
It's supposed to go -19 tonight, which is
cold.
It's cold. What's that in American? That's a Fahrenheit? I don't know.
It's cold.
Yeah, it's like -19 in Fahrenheit.
It converges at some point.
Yeah, I think it's -32.
There, I'm at the bottom there. Oh, and there's a fish that just swam by.
Really? That's funny.
As soon as I hit the bottom.
Is it big?
It's hard to tell on this camera. Like everything looks big on the camera here.
I'm just happy the water didn't actually spill over. Because sometimes when there's too much snow on the ice, when you cut a hole, what happens is the water actually comes up, which is good that it didn't. All right, let's. I gotta get a different shovel. So the other day, I actually went around and I actually shoveled all around the perimeter because when I was stepping near the end, it was cracking. Actually, I was going through because the edges don't really freeze that well. So yeah, I did that. So I hope. Well, Chris hasn't fallen through yet. I want really smooth ice this year. Every year we've had kind of garbage ice because it doesn't freeze the best, and then we get slush or rain or something like that. So this year we've tried a little differently. So hopefully it'll be extra good. Don's here. How you doing, Don?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. You heard there was hockey and fishing, and you just couldn't help yourself.
Resist.
There you go.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Excellent.
Well, right now I'm cold. But,
that's better than the alternative.
That's right. It would have been very, very cold.
All right. Figure we should say a big thank you, right, Don?
Absolutely. It means well all the support that and the best wishes I got. I can hardly talk because my lips are cold.
They're frozen. It's very cold.
But anyways, I just wanted to thank everyone. It's greatly appreciated. And, you know, it's wonderful and humbling to have that kind of support. And I thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
There you go. Well, I think that's the most words anybody's ever heard from Don. That's... Anyways,
well,
there you go. All right. Well, yeah, like again, I thank you. I did put that together. Don he wasn't really sure about it, and yeah, he's a man that asks very little of others, and you know, I champion that sort of the fundraiser. So anyways, thanks again for donating to our cause. It's going to go a long way to help Don through the next couple of months. You've been doing great.
Yes. So far from what I can tell. It's,
all right. Well,
everything's going well, and like I said, everything is greatly appreciated, and thank you all. It was very humbling to get that kind of support, but it is greatly appreciated.
All right, let's get back to it. All right, now that we got the pond all shoveled off, what my plan the other day, actually, I filled this thing up, which is my little wood-fired hot tub. And the idea was to get a whole bunch of hot water in it and then flood the rink with really hot water, and then you can melt that top layer of terrible ice and make yourself some really good ice. But I was stirring it and I accidentally hit the plug and I drained all my water, but not immediately because the drain was actually frozen. So when I left overnight, I guess what happened was it kind of melted all that stuff once it got warm, and it drained. So that's why there's kind of like green grass over there, which is my astroturf underneath. It kind of all drained out, so we're filling it back up. So the way we're getting our water is over here. This is our hand dug well. We've got our culvert. There's actually a video on that, and so yeah, we're pumping. We've got the EcoFlow in my little cooler kit to keep it nice and toasty, and I'm able to run a submersible pump, which is down there, and pump it out of there into the hot tub. And once I'm done, what I do is I take the hose and I actually coil it back down in the well, and it stays from freezing, which is quite convenient because wrangling a wet, slippery, frozen hose is not fun. So anyways, we're running that thing. It fills it up pretty darn quick. We've got the fire going right now, and ideally you don't have the fire going when you have no water in it, so we're just having the water kind of drain onto the stove to keep it a little bit cool. And Dawn's added benefit was the steam bath.
Yeah, nice and warm on the hands.
When we first started it up, it again, because we actually have to let the well, so you can see the steam. The steam's going. There's some more steam. It always seems like we're evaporating water around here. Maple syrup, hot tub. We'll let this thing heat up because the idea is to have this as hot as possible. So we're gonna probably get it close to boiling, and then drain it all. And it'll go like two birds, one stone, because I'll actually be able to clean the hot tub out. I didn't really clean it because all the leaves fell in it. So yeah, that'll two birds, one stone. Chris still hasn't caught a fish, although a fish did rob him of his worm. We'll see if he actually gets a fish. I'd be interested.
Fish, fish, fish on. Oh, fish off.
Oh no!
Right at the hole.
Oh well. All right, while I'm waiting for the water to warm up in the hot tub, I figured I'd make myself a little bit of an outdoor light. I don't know if you guys can see well. Let's get a little closer. A little closer. So this is a giant, my table's running away. Hang on. There, that's better. Okay, so this is a giant street light that you normally see like in a promenade or a boulevard or something like that, or like a walk. Well, anyways, the problem with this thing is that, well, the reason I get them is because they're broken. So there was a series of LED lights around here that burnt out. I don't know if I still have them kicking around. I don't know where they went. Anyway, they're gone, so I've taken them off. So what, because I think the ballast went or the bulbs went, or actually somebody plugged it into line voltage and it's a DC thing. Anyways, to get into the details of that, it doesn't matter. It's broken, I got it, and I'm gonna make it work with something a little bit non-traditional. So normally you would just go and throw some money at this thing and just change the lights. But it's like a 100-watt LED, which produces like a gajillion amount of lumens. And I think this is like partially the heatsink, which is a giant aluminum shaft here. So instead, what I did was I went to Princess Auto because I kind of like going to Princess Auto, and I saw this thing, and it was in the surplus area, and it's a 10,000 lumen corn bulb. And if you've ever seen one of these things, it's impressive. It's like the biggest light bulb. Did I mention I like light bulbs? Anyway, so this thing here is the giantest light bulb ever, and it's got a series of LEDs all the way around it. And the good thing about it is it plugs into, like it screws into a regular light socket, which is kind of cool. But the problem is this thing doesn't have a light socket, but it seems to be the right size for, because I want to put it like right there. So what I got to do is actually cut this out in order to kind of slide that guy in and then somehow maintain stability so it doesn't fall apart. So, I don't know. I'm thinking if I like cut the thing apart, like completely, and then add some brackets to kind of make up the space. And then what I have, I'm gonna put that back here just to keep it safe for now. I've got a couple of these guys. I picked these up from like a surplus area. That's like $1. That's a pancake box, electrical box. If you've ever seen those, those are like if you ever need to put like a surface mount light fixture in drywall, it's actually the exact thickness of drywall, and that'll actually don't take up too much room. And then again, this is in the tickle truck. This is like a porcelain light fixture, and if you've ever seen one of these guys, like these are like construction grade, but actually they're like high-end construction grade, because generally speaking, construction grade would be plastic. And what I've found is any kind of like a higher voltage bulb, even though everything's LED nowadays, they'll put plastic ones of these in, and what happens is they melt, or they just kind of disintegrate, they get all brittle and they break apart. So this guy won't, because it is like a porcelain, you know, made in China. Well, go figure. But anyways, it's porcelain, so it's probably good quality, and it's Leviton. So anyways, that's my plan. So put that guy on that guy, and then put an end on it. So just I'm basically making a giant lamp that'll be allowed to be plugged in to regular voltage, line voltage, which I'll hook up to a power pack down at the pond. So the idea is to have this giant beacon, 10,000 lumen light fixture glowing and then illuminating basically the entire area with a nice warm glow, and you'll be able to see everything while you're playing hockey. So anyways, I gotta cut this thing apart, because if you're making an omelet, you gotta break some eggs. So that guy there. All right, so I fitted up the light fixture. I figured out the thing is about 12 inches tall to fit inside there. So what I want to do is actually cut the bottom and the top off. Now, normally what I would use is like a grinder with like an aluminum blade on it. But that's it's kind of dusty. So I don't necessarily like to do it. And well, there's new technology out there. This is actually a brand new one. This is the Diablo Steel Demon. If you've ever cut any kind of metal, this is something you should actually look up to. Is like a carbide tipped blade, which allows you to cut steel kind of like butter. Now that's a brand new one, because I bought two, because I was like, I'm gonna see how they work. So I've got an old one in here, and it's still kicking, so I'm quite impressed with that. So my plan is to just kind of rip around this thing a couple of times in order to kind of, I guess I could put it in a chop saw. It's cold, it's really cold. It's like the best heat sink ever. Holy moly. So anyway, I got one side cut, I'm just gonna flip it over. One more cut. Okay, whew. All right, 2 pieces. That is gonna be something else one day. It's cool. All right, I got my 2 pieces. Everything's so cold. All right, get rid of this thing. Fast forward to this part, where I've got it all back assembled. I got hair in my mouth. All right, turn into a ninja star or something. I do a self-tapping drywall screw instead. It'll go right into the aluminum, because I didn't quite line that up perfectly. Need an extension. I need what's that called? I need why can't I think of the word? I need lamp wire. Probably have something laying around. Instead of lamp wire, I ended up using some cab tire, which is like extension cord, like heavy duty, kind of running it outside, because that's the plan with this bad boy. All right, so we got her all wired up. She's nice and solid. So we get the bulb in. All right, so at this stage of the game, I should probably test it to see if it's gonna actually light. So let's plug it in. Whoa, that's crazy. All right, we know it works. All right. You know what? I'm not sure I need it. After all that. Yeah, I'm not sure I need it. I just got to figure out a way to put this top finial piece on. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just glue that on. Let's put that on. All right, well, I look for some silicone. Don't have any silicone, so we're gonna hot glue it. Hot glue it and hope for the best, and if it comes off, I will silicone it. She's bright. Really, really bright. All right, I think we got some hot water now that we've heated it up. Let's have a look. All right, so that is, ooh, that's a little toasty. That's probably like a little bit over 100 degrees. We've got a lot of it. I'm gonna put a little bit more wood in it, and then I'm gonna set up my my flooding device. The original plan was to I guess it was to pump it out. And instead of that, I'm actually going to gravity feed it or siphon it out of the tub. Because, well, I don't think I need to pump it because we are kind of really high compared to the actual pond. So I should be able to just gravity feed it to there if I can keep everything from freezing. So I'm going to let that hose just kind of fill up with water, dangle there, and then I'm going to hook it up to my thing. Hard to think when it's this cold. I should just dump in the hot tub. See, no more skating. All right, let's see if we can get this thing all rocking before it just starts to freeze on me. The water is exceptionally hot. Siphoning, it's fun. Ah, hot. All right, let's see if I can. I don't even know what temperature that is if I can't put my hands in it. Like it's hot. Hot. I guess it's better than cold. It's super hot and super cold at the same time. I need to get that underwater. Oh, why? Maybe I should just go get a pump. All right, gonna try the first version just to see if I got enough hose, and if I don't, I will hook that other hose up. Well, some of you non-ice rink making people might think, you know, why are you using hot water? Well, the answer to that is if you use cold water, say if you just punched a hole in the pond itself and then just kind of pumped water from below onto the top, what happens is it doesn't actually freeze bottom up, it freezes top down, and what happens is it kind of gives you a sheet of air between your ice, and that's not good, and it kind of flakes off. So the idea behind the hot water is it melts the surface, the top layer of the existing ice to kind of bond to it. That's why you use hot water when you're kind of flooding your rink, or if you're trying to make it smooth. And the idea behind dragging the cloth behind it is it's going to kind of knock off the top portions of it and just keep building up a smoother and smoother ice surface. Now, ideally, this pond would have frozen perfectly smooth to begin with, but you know, technology has allowed us to kind of make a really good surface out of something that's not perfect. Otherwise, it's almost unskateable otherwise. Well, that's how much water I used, which is not very much. I'm gonna let it freeze a little bit and then probably give it another flood. It's actually looking really decent after just one flood. That thing worked pretty good. It's kind of cool that you can see when I dial it down how dark it is, and it kind of looks like an eyeball in the middle. It's got the circle there, which where the aeration is, and it's got a light part on it, and then it kind of looks like I said, a giant eyeball. So it's got 2 floods on it now, and I'm going to actually put another flood on it just to kind of, and then let it sit probably overnight to kind of really freeze hard, because it's calling for snow. Ideally, you don't put any water on it if you're going to have snow, because it turns into dimply ice, and we're not curling on this, we're trying to skate. Lita, how's the ice?
It's good.
Think it's good?
Yeah.
You go skating? Look at that. Perfect. All right, get your skates on.
Can I do this?
No, get your skates on, then you can do skating. Come over here, so if you fall, you got it on camera.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
You go skate.
Gently walk.
You do a spin? Whoa, look at that! Ooh. It's nice and smooth, eh?
Yeah,
It's kind of like, is it like a hockey rink?
Kinda.
Yeah, is it nice
But this is kind of move that's called airplane.
an airplane? Let's show me the airplane. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, good spin. Whoa. That was perfect.
That was like a figure skating for a second.
Hey, Frankie, what do you think? What do you think, Frank? Are your feet frozen? You're like, oh, I got icicles. You think? Go for a rip.
I'm a figure skater.
There you go. Zoing. Here. You ready? Ready? Watch. I'll show you. I'll show you how to stop.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh yeah, try. There you go. Good stopping. Okay, you do it.
Can someone do it in slow motion so I can see?
You do it. You're like sure-footed as a mountain goat. Come on.
I keep going slow motion.
Sure-footed as a mountain goat. You're gonna
coming to
take
you.
us all down.
Yes, I am.
No. 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 Hey. 12 years, eh? You're not doing bad.
Well, I'm upright. It's
Yeah.
better than I thought.
Okay, do a trick. Double axle.
Oh yeah, right.
You don't grab at me. It's like swimming. You're on your own. All right, well, if you look at the ice really closely, you can see that it's nice and smooth. It has got a little bit of snow on it, but it's not terrible. The only problem we have is like this is where the aeration was, and it's a little bumpy. But you can see that dark ice is like the best ice. That's where it actually had the aerator on before it froze, so it got really dark. And then the other problem over here is this bump here, which will get flattened out over time. You can probably just shave it off with a skate, and then once the next flood, you'll get that blob there. But overall, this is like probably the best ice best ice we've had on this pond ever, due to the fact that we did flood it, and it's actually quite nice. It's actually not as hard as normal outdoor ice for some reason. I think it's because it's kind of mild out today. But normally it's very loud outdoor ice. But we've got actually some pretty decent weather. So like you can see bumps like that, which over time, more you flood it, those will go away. Sure. Where's your ring? Get it. Get it. Go for the stick, don't go for the ring. There you go. There, got it.
Now that you have that.
Alright.
Wait on it. That was actually done. I got no toe pick. I can't push off.
Bend your knees. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Well, I'm going to deem that a success. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and join me on the next one.